Welcome to our debut podcast. Our series is Tap into Tong Ren, Stories of Healing and Change. Our goal is to give you information to allow you to have different choices and opportunities to continue well on your own healing journey and to be empowered and to take charge of your own lives. So some important questions. Do you believe you are getting the best medical treatment available? Are you frustrated when the best care is an out-of-pocket expense and the insurance coverage is inadequate? Do you believe that your doctors have exhausted all possibilities of treatment when they see you? Well, my name is Joseph Lucier, and I want to answer a lot of those questions. I'm a 25-year holistic practitioner, including Tong Ren distance healing. I'm a 9-time author, engineer, lifestyle medicine advocate, including nutrition, cleansing programs, earth and clay therapies, energy healing, Asian body, and even yoga. So let's take a quick step back to compare the two basic medical models we have going on right at this time. We have the allopathic medical model, basically Big Pharma, which has been around for about 250 years. Modern science is just now embracing just how poorly the results are for that medicine. Mostly out of desperation, people are looking into other options, especially considering the extremely low success rates of allopathic medicine. For example, cancer has about a 2.7% success rate. Yes, I said that right. That is a very low success rate. When people give you fear as an option, that's not how you recover and transform your life and your physical bodies. So why is the allopathic medical model struggling? The reason mainly is they treat symptoms, not causes. They don't get to the root cause of what's really happening, and therefore they can never really have a long-term successful solution. They also focus on a single targeted approach, which is inconsistent with the natural and holistic balance of our own bodies. Our bodies work in a team approach, synergistic balance of different things working back and forth. It is one unit with many components communicating on a very advanced level. One item given as a medicine or a therapy or a drug can actually disrupt other things while at the same time coding over and sort of mimicking the success of eliminating a symptom when still the underlying cause exists and the disease will come again. Otherwise, increased medications is usually recommended. They treat symptoms, not causes, and so on. And therefore, we are thinking on a more holistic perspective. And that brings us to traditional medicine that's been around for thousands of years. The traditional Chinese medicine model, for example, is 5,000 to 10,000 years old, including Asia, the Ayurvedic medicine of ancient India, and, importantly, the indigenous and shamanistic medicine of Tibet, Europe, North and South America. These are time-tested medicines that have brought culture to where they are today. So if you combine these medicines of China with their indigenous cultures, advanced medicines together, India medicine, all of these different things that have been around for thousands of years, in my simple, humble estimate, you have about 20,000 years of time-tested medicine that has brought some of the greatest civilizations of our planet to where it is today. So let's compare 250 years to 20,000 years. So you do the math. That's what I want to talk about in terms of why not utilize that 20,000 years of incredible experience and resources to heal our bodies instead of being focused down a very narrow path of healing and adjustments for symptoms as opposed to what we are, our integrated body, mind, and spirit beings living in a world also connected to the inner world of our own consciousness, to the outer world of our universe, and all of the even quantum biology, astrophysics of our own existence. So, why are holistic therapies successful? They integrate all of these different levels of healing. They deal with the mind, body, and spirit. They focus on relationships, not just isolated things, because we do not exist in an isolated laboratory test tube. We are communities. Our bodies are communities of activities and communications. We are communities with our fellow humans. We are communities in our planet with other planets. They all work together. Holistic medicine focuses on the relationship with nature, the Tao as it's called, and enhances life force energy in the body. We want to build. Holistic medicine wants to make us so strong that illness cannot bother us, as opposed to working on symptoms and not working again, as I say, the underlying core causes, which we can identify. And science is now coming to the level where they can actually identify core causes, especially when they look at a perspective using Eastern medicine as their guide. So our main topic for our episodes, with this as being our debut episode, we are going to tap into Tong Ren, stories of healing and change, where we dive into fascinating worlds of Tong Ren, which is a distance healing technique which implores our consciousness, our intention, our mind, and even physics, astrophysics, and quantum biology. But it's also greatly integrated with Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and modern anatomy and physiology. It is truly the bridge to the future medicine. It is truly the real solution to optimal health and real healing on all levels. It deals with bioelectricity, Qi and life force energy, also known as prana or pneuma, quantum biology, which basically means modern science can now define ancient wisdom. Western anatomy and physiology are now bridged to the great science of the great cultures of 20,000 years of history. Remember, it's very important to understand that we have a global impact. It is a tradition that is changing lives all over the world, and I'm talking about Tong Ren and Eastern medicine in general. As we say, what is the TAM healing system? That's what we want to talk about. It is one of many holistic systems. That is the topic of our podcast for today, because like so many systems, we are now having bridge-like systems like the TAM healing system that is a bridge between ancient Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and modern bioelectricity, anatomy, and physiology. So let's take a step back, because I want to give a shout out to the founder of the specific system of Tong Ren therapy, distance healing, which again has been around for thousands of years, to Tom Tam, who about 30 years or more has started to develop 3 pillars of healing: acupuncture, bodywork, Asian bodywork, and Tong Ren distance healing, which is a very advanced healing method which I use to treat people all over the world on a regular basis from my office in the East Coast of the United States. So about 35 years ago, he realized that focusing on blockages, this is the major thing. When there is a blockage or resistance in the body, the abundance of the most important resource of our body is negatively impacted. We have abundant resources. We are abundant beings, and we can connect to the amazing resources of the earth, of the sun, of our nutrients, of our plants, of our own conscious mind. So, for example, we can do things with energy healing and connect through the major heart of compassion, which is the highest superpower of energy throughout the entire universe. So distance healing is where using our mind, as we do with acupuncture and bodywork, to open a blockage. That blockage is on the central nervous system. That means we are opening a bioelectrical blockage. Why is that important? It's important because we want to reestablish one of the major things we're going to be talking about throughout this series. That is the brain-wound connection. As I mentioned earlier, we're talking about communication. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. Everything in our body is communicating back and forth. Our gut alone has 100 to 1,000,000 trillion cells in the gut itself. Friendly flora. We have organs, we have cells, we have oxygen, we have chemistry, we have all of these things going on at the same time. And it doesn't happen by coincidence. It just doesn't happen randomly. And in a future episode, we'll talk about what sets off this chain of events. And what sets it off is, believe it or not, the sun and our circadian rhythms. So from there on down we go. But we want to make sure that on that path, from the sun to our eyes, to our brain, to every cell and every little clock and every cell in our bodies, is waiting for instructions from the master clock, the sun and our brain, to tell it what to do. But we want to make sure it is efficient. There are no blockages on the way. For example, a blockage between the brain and the lungs would mean the lungs would have a deficiency. The lungs would start to do less because they're not getting their instructions. Our job with Tong Ren healing and the other TAM healing system techniques is to open that blockage of major communication of bioelectricity. That is a communication link from the brain to the organ. When that is reestablished, we can reverse disease. We can reestablish proper communication, and the body will continue to function properly. If you think of it this way, if somebody's laying in bed in a hospital for a couple of weeks, their body will atrophy. That is because the brain-wound connection has been resisted or broken, and the body doesn't tell the muscles to do work because it's not getting a message to do work, which is called resistance, like what we do at the gym. When we start to do massage or walking or different thing, the brain gets a message. Okay, muscles, get stronger, more blood, more nutrients, do work. So that's what the body can do. It's very straightforward. Opening a blockage can do all of these different things. So we need to, number one, identify a blockage. Number two, open a blockage. And throughout this series, we're going to be talking about other adjunct therapies to open up that blockage and to support the body. We know from experience, I know from experience, that we can build the body to be so strong that we can have a gazillion viruses attack our body and they will all be repelled because we are strong. That's the way to do it. We are so strong we resist disease. We are nutrient rich and we can create an inner environment of chemistry, of alkalinity, anti-inflammation, anti-acidity, and lots of oxygen, which is our main core element. So when we get these things going, we can resist, we can remove the resistance, get that pathway, believe it or not, from the sun to our brain, to the nerves, to our organs, complete. Our job is to make sure that's going well. Just like in your car, if there is acid on your battery, you can't start your car. You clean the terminals, and guess what? You have reestablished that communication link from your starter using the battery and the cables, and guess what? The wires are the same as our nerves. So this is how it works. Very straightforward. And our podcast series is to give you stories of healing and change of people that have been reversing conditions like leukemia, cancer, and how we work on all different types of conditions with actual testimonials. I'm very excited that you are here joining us today so that we can share this with you. And these simple techniques, above all, we can actually teach people how to take charge of their life and do this technique themselves. My goal is to teach more and more people throughout the entire world how to do these techniques. Once you know the basics, you can apply it with your heart of compassion as the supercharger. You can actually be of service. Our big, important task in life, be of service to help yourself, help others, help family, help friends, and help patients. So all these things are within our grasp. Going back to history as the context of unlimited resources to really be successful. Herbs, exercise, yoga, circadian rhythms, the sun, earthing, but especially with our focus, Tong Ren healing therapy, we can, from a distance, which is a technique that's been around for thousands of years, but brought to a great, simple, strategic strategy that I use myself for people all over the world, probably in over 50 countries by now. And you can do that yourselves. But listen to us, hear about other people, real case stories, and how this amazing technique works. We really appreciate your joining us on this great series of healing and change using the Tong Ren distance healing technique. So thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing all of you, and keep in touch. Remember, you can take charge of your life. Question everything. Get questions answered. Do your homework, and you can have abundance. That's my message to you. Thanks very much, and have a great day. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Tap into Tong Ren, Stories of Healing and Change podcast. I'd love to know, what did you think? Did you have any aha moments? What got you fired up? Did this episode make you more curious about this healing world, or make you think differently about specific topics and hopefully expand your awareness? Let us know your feedback, and always feel free to contribute and share your own ideas and recommendations. Let us know what is your possible personal experience in this area. Think about what you heard that got you most excited. Figure out how you can ignite that fire by taking a first step or going deeper into your own practice. This is your nudge for you to question what you have heard from us, for you to question what you have heard from others, and above all, get to the truth that you need in order to be empowered and excited about your practice and your own health. Question things and get out of your comfort zone and start making things happen. If you have questions, reach out to the community. Also, we have lots of resources like online courses and live workshops to support you. Once again, thank you for thinking about us and listening to our Tong Ren Community podcast. Stay tuned for our next episode of Tap into Tong Ren, Stories of Healing and Change. We hope to continue to empower, inspire, and uplift people on their journey to optimum health. Join us each time and let's take charge of our health and share this important information with the world.